Did the KGB engage in psychological warfare? If you're curious about the tactics used by the KGB during the Cold War, you're about to uncover some fascinating and somewhat unsettling facts. Let's explore how the KGB engaged in psychological warfare. The KGB, the Soviet Union's security agency, was deeply involved in what they called active measures. These were not your typical espionage activities, but rather a complex web of psychological and ideological manipulations aimed at influencing public opinion and destabilizing enemy nations. One of the key figures who revealed these tactics was Yuri Alexandrovich Bezmenov, a former KGB agent who defected to Canada. Bezmenov described a four-stage process of ideological subversion that the KGB used to undermine the United States. The first stage, called demoralization, took around 15 to 20 years to complete. During this time, the KGB targeted various aspects of American society, including education, religion, social life, and the power structure, to change the perception of reality among Americans. This meant altering what people thought and believed, often through subtle and long-term influences. The next stage was destabilization, which lasted about 2 to 5 years. Here, the KGB focused on weakening the structural elements of the target country, such as its economy, foreign relations, and defense systems. This was done to create an environment of instability and vulnerability. Following destabilization, the KGB would trigger a crisis phase, which could unfold in as little as 6 weeks. This crisis would lead to a violent change in power, structure, and economy, paving the way for the final stage, normalization. In this stage, the country would be living under a new ideology and reality, essentially under the influence of the subverting power. The KGB also used disinformation campaigns as part of their psychological warfare. These campaigns involved spreading false information through various channels, including the press, front organizations, and even seemingly independent groups. For example, during the 1980s, the KGB launched a disinformation campaign claiming that the HIV virus was created by the United States. This campaign was highly successful in spreading confusion and mistrust globally. Another tactic was the use of agents of influence. These could be full-fledged spies, local recruits, or even unwitting accomplices who helped spread Soviet messages. For instance, Gunther Gillaum, an East German agent, became the personal assistant to German Chancellor Willy Brandt and influenced policies in favor of the USSR. The KGB's approach to psychological warfare was highly sophisticated and involved a deep understanding of the target's mindset and vulnerabilities. They exploited these weaknesses through various means, including art, music, and even tabloid gossip, to create an environment conducive to their ideological goals. In summary, the KGB was indeed heavily engaged in psychological warfare, using a multifaceted approach that included long-term ideological subversion, disinformation campaigns, and the use of agents of influence to manipulate public opinion and destabilize enemy nations. These tactics were central to their strategy during the Cold War and continue to provide insights into the methods of modern psychological warfare.